Day 5 of OTAs went down and in the books, and we got some news on who's getting snaps with the starters, a backup quarterback battle breaking out, and also Caleb Williams finally talks about the situation around the reporting around his dad, Vikings, and all. We're going to talk about it all and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. I'm the host, Sarah Hayes, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Chi Bears Central on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go ahead and get into this content today, y'all. And let's go ahead and just get it out the way, right? I know that the guys talked about it a little bit on last night's live stream, but Caleb Williams really came out, and before anybody got to ask any questions or anything, he addressed the whole situation around what happened with his dad and things like that. And, I love that he went ahead and silenced it, like when it came down to it. He said the whole storm that happened wasn't something we wanted to happen at this point. We're focused on the present. We're focused on the now. After I came on my pre-draft visit here, it was a deliberate and determined answer that I wanted to come here, right? And, it is what it is when it comes down to it. I know that that's going to be something that already people who had doubts around Caleb Williams were going to use it to jump on it. That's why we came out with the live stream that very shortly after the article was out, after we read the whole entire article. The book's coming out, August, September. So I do expect some more things to kind of come out and maybe drum up some things. That'll be during the season. It is what it is there. But, at the end of the day, this is not something that anybody needs to be worried about. Caleb Williams is a Chicago Bear. I think in his words and his actions, he's shown that he wants to be a Chicago Bear. And while, you have some people, of course, who are worried, like, what does this mean when his contract's up, things of all that matter? We'll worry about that and cross that bridge when we get to it. I feel like Caleb Williams handled this like a man. He handled it directly, whereas he could probably have not addressed it at all, or waited to people asked him about it, but he came in and wanted him to get it done and just get it out the way. And there's something respectable about that, right? At the end of the day, all this shit with Caleb Williams, the Vikings, him and his dad having questions about coming here, all that type of shit, unless his dad all of a sudden becomes some huge distraction, which he has not been. He's not been LeVar Ball. He hasn't been Tyrese Halliburton's dad. He hasn't done anything crazy like that. So until those things start happening and happen consistently, I'm not worried about it. Like, Caleb is here to do Caleb's job. He's here to be the quarterback. He's here to try to be great, right? And I think this franchise has shown their investment in him continually. I think last season they made a mistake. Ryan Poles undervalued the change that needed to happen on that offensive line. They made that change this season, and that's the thing that matters the most. Everything else is going to fall where it falls. The chips are going to fall where it may. And I think that's, at the end of the day, that's the most important thing when it comes down to it, man. Let's get this done. Let's focus on football. And that's it. Like, that's it. That's the thing. I keep talking about it. I just want to talk about some football, y'all. That's really it. I just want to talk about some football. I just want to talk about what's needed for this football team to win some football games, right? And all the drama, and I know that comes with the territory, that comes with, everything else, these guys being larger than life stars, these athletes being whatever, sports being soap operas for men. I understand all of that, right? But, this whole thing has ballooned up more, and a lot of it. And a lot of you guys, I've seen you guys in the comments, really haven't read the article. You're still just going off the headline. I'm not saying everybody, but there are a lot of people that do that, right? And it is what it is. Caleb Williams, guess what? All your bitching, whining, complaining, and whatever is not going to change the fact Caleb Williams is the Chicago Bears quarterback. They have no plans on him not being the quarterback anytime soon. He is going to be the quarterback. That is the player that they are trying to build this whole thing around, right? That's what Ben Johnson is in here for, to help evaluate all that. Like, he's going to be the quarterback, people. I get it. For some of those that don't want him to be the quarterback, it is what it is. If you don't think that there is some legitimate concern about that he shouldn't have had some concern coming here with the shit that was around the Bears for so long, hell, a lot of the concerns were proven. So look, I hope this is it. He's addressed it. He's going to be here. He wants to be here. And that's it. That's it. I hope that that's it. Period. Point blank. Let's get it done. Let's move the fuck on. Right? I think that's the best thing in all the cases, scenarios here. And let's just move on and get it done. That's really it, man. So we'll see what happens here. We'll see what the future holds. Hopefully, Caleb Williams has a great season. We're not focusing talking about this stupid shit anymore. But let's switch gears. Let's talk about some football, man. So there are a lot of football things to happen yesterday. Ozzie Trapillo got his run with the first team offense. This was expected. The Chicago Bears are going to use this time while Braxton Jones is out to really evaluate what him and Kieran Amagaje could really bring at that left tackle position. That way, when Braxton is fully healthy, he's ready to go, he's ready to play some football, we can really take a look at what all that means, right? And you know exactly what you're looking for because you've spent however many weeks or whatever it ends up being really taking a look at everybody, well, Kieran Amagaje and Ozzie Trapillo and what they can bring to that left tackle position. So that evaluation is going to be really important for what happens with Braxton. But Braxton, he needs to use this as motivation. Braxton, when he gets back healthy, come out here and he can calm all the talk and conversation around the left tackle. He can calm that down immediately by just going out there and handling business, right? And that's the thing that needs to happen in that one. But Ozzie got his snaps. Doesn't seem like anything bad happened from it. It was positive as far as the way that he played from it. And so far, only through OTAs, right? But so far, Ozzie and Kieran have both done pretty damn good in what their time in getting out there with the starters. And so we'll see what that ends up happening with. But Clay Harbor said that Trapillo took every snap with the first team offense and held his own and did a nice job. Hey, so it's given Ben Johnson, Dan Rouchar some things to think about on what they're going to do with that offensive line. But that full decision on who's going to be the starter there will not be decided until Braxton Jones gets an opportunity. They've already said it. He's going to get an opportunity to win that starting job. So anyone who's hoping that, Braxton's just going to come in and he's going to immediately be a backup, no. Throughout training camp, while he's healthy, he's going to get an opportunity to show that he still needs to be that starting left tackle. I have my doubts, and overall, though, I'm trusting what the evaluation that this coaching staff comes up with. A new coaching staff, new eyes. I'm going to trust their evaluation until they give me a bunch of reasons not to trust their evaluation, right? So whatever comes out of this, I just hope that the spirit of competition that's here with these guys trying to figure out and battle for that position, whatever happens, whatever the chips fall where they may, we're gonna take a look at that and keep it pushing, right? But overall, it seemed like there was a little bit of a rough day for the offense. And that is a little bit concerning, but it's a little bit concerning mainly due to how it's gone the last couple of years, right? We, of course, heard last year all throughout OTAs and training camp that the defense was well ahead of the offense. And then when we took the football field, even though we had some success at the start of the season, we started seeing why that was, right? So hearing that the offense is having it's a little bit of a struggle, it is what it is when it comes down to it, right? Seems like Ben Johnson is still, he's stopping things pre-snap where he's noticing some things being missed in the pre-snap, which, again, as a head coach, that's absolutely what I want my head coach to do. Let's get this shit out. Let's get it out the roots early, right? Let's pull that up out the ground and get it done. And so that's what it really seems like they're happening is that, and even going so far as to saying this, we're just not going to allow the practice to go south, right? So the seriousness that's there, Ben Johnson and his coaching staff have already established they're not Matt Eberflus and their coaching staff. They take this shit seriously, right? And so to hear from Zach Pearson that Johnson is getting upset with the offense, not getting settled in on the line, a couple of different times, good, right? Get upset, get pissed off, call it out, stop practice if you need to, do whatever you need to do to put your team on a path to where they can play better, right? And so that you're not dealing with some of this stuff later on in the season. You have to address it early if you want to get it out of there so you're not dealing with that later on. And that's what the Chicago Bears are trying to do here. They're trying to do what it takes and what's needed to get all that shit rooted out of there so then we can handle some shit. And let's hope that ends up being the case for this Bears team. So love to hear that Ben Johnson is establishing things early. He's making it known early. Hey, listen, if you want to be a Chicago Bear, you want to play here with this Bears team, you cannot come in here and lollygag. And I don't know why any Bears fans should be mad at that at all. You should not want your team to be able to come in here and play play bad. It's unacceptable, right? And so this coaching staff, Dennis Allen, Ben Johnson, they are really, really establishing what needs to get done here and what their expectations are. This coaching staff is going to be a huge reason why this team could take the step up in the next level. Everyone, even Declan Doyle out there going through all the things. So, that's what you want to see from this team, and that's what we hope continues because, listen, I tell you what, I'm tired of fucking losing, as most people should be. I'm tired of losing. So, let's see what happens with the offense. Hopefully, we start hearing that the offense is starting to improve, especially once we get to training camp, but we'll see. One of the things as well with tackles is Ben Johnson did say he's still not ruling out a switch of Darnell Wright to left tackle from the right tackle. Now, I'm not somebody who wants to see that because I think he's done a pretty solid job over there, but Ben Johnson and Dan Rouchar leaving everything, they want to make sure that they have the best combination of guys. And if that means that putting Darnell Wright on that left side and maybe Ozzie Trapillo, Kieran Amagaje are better on the right side, if that ends up being where you can find your success at, so be it. It's all about doing what you need to do to find success. That's the most important thing here. And if they're finding that success through doing it that way, great. I'm not going to complain about it. Nobody should complain about it because guess what? If we're successful in it, that's it. Now, it is what it is. He flat out said that anything is still on the table. We can decide to change course whenever we need to. That was a quote from Ben Johnson in regards to the tackles, moving potentially Darnell Wright to the left tackle from the right side. We'll see how it goes. I hope that it's not even a question or something that we need to really evaluate. I hope that that's not a question or something that we need to worry about because once things are going on, hopefully Ozzie, whether it's Ozzie, Kieran, Braxton, hopefully these guys show enough in training camp to where they feel confident about what they're going to bring in here. We heard a couple of days ago that the Bears are kind of not really as worried about the left tackle position as some, right? And maybe that's because of the ability that they have confidence on, hey, if things at worst, we'll switch Darnell Wright to the left side. We'll see how that happens, right? I did also talk about leading into this a couple of position battles, right? One, backup quarterback seems to be a position battle. As of right now, it seems like Case Keenum is actually taking more snaps with the second team. He's also made himself valuable in that connection with Caleb Williams. Seems like it's building there as well, which is really good to hear about. And Case Keenum seems to be separating himself. Now, I know my Bajent baddies are going to be a little triggered by that. It is what it is there, but it seems like there is a battle going on there and who's going to be the backup quarterback. Ben Johnson said that Keenum is absolutely in the mix for the backup job. But the way I look at this is I hope we get to the point where it doesn't matter. Like I hope that we don't even have to worry about going to our bullpen and using a backup quarterback. That's why I hope that it's not even a question once the season starts. That's what I would love to happen here. So if that's where we get to, great, right? But, for those that like the storylines, especially the drama that are going to see because the backup quarterbacks are going to play a lot in preseason, right? Caleb's not going to play a whole hell of a lot of snaps out there. Hopefully, we see that and you guys get your entertainment out of it. But there seems to be another position battle that I think is a little bit more important, and that's for the linebacker 3, right? The strong side, the Sam linebacker. And with Jack Sanborn no longer being with the Chicago Bears, it left an open taste. Now, TJ Edwards, Tremaine Edmonds, the Will and Mike linebacker respectively, but it seems like Reuben Hippolyte is putting in some work to get this job, right? Zach Pearson again said, it sounds like the Sewell Hippolyte battle for that third linebacker spot is going to be fun to watch this summer. Now, I was hoping myself that Power Echols would get himself in the mix here. I haven't heard too much about his name as an undrafted free agent, but Hippolyte is a guy that the Bears did draft, and they drafted him, you would think, for a reason. And it was at a spot where we needed some depth at. But it's really good as well to hear that Noah Sewell is putting up a little bit of fight because hey, he's been quiet basically since we got him here, right? So if Noah Sewell is putting in some work and it is a question about, there's some legitimate questions on, hey, is this guy going to be, starting right away? Great, right? That means that you at least feel confident in who you drafted enough to put them out there and start them if that's the case. But he's going to have to go through this offseason. He's going to have to battle for it, and we'll see if he comes out on top. If he does, great, right? I'm not mad at it. Between Noah Sewell, between Reuben Hippolyte, whatever happens there, they both offer a lot. I think Hippolyte's speed coming off that outside in a Dennis Allen system is going to be really important and big to see, and we'll see how that shakes out as well. Cole Kmet seemed like he had a really, really good day yesterday, which is good, right? Clay Harbor said that Kmet had a nice day, and there's a go, that he got moved around a lot in the alignment of where they were lining him up. He was in motion as well on a lot of things, so that seems like it's really good. He has a really good 7-on-7 period, and seems like that Ben Johnson is Really excited about the 12-man personnel getting opportunities for Colston Loveland and Cole Kmet to be out there together, right? And this is going to be an important season for Cole. He fell out of the rotation because Shane Waldron favored Gerald Everett over him. He then also had some of its own struggles when he did get snaps, right? But now you're coming into a situation with the new coaching staff and a coach that is going to spread out the offense and try to get you involved. Colston Loveland can be your replacement, or he can be your partner as far as in a tandem that, at least for a few years, could form one of the best tight end tandems in football, right? So we'll see. Colston Loveland still needs to get out on the field. That's the thing here. Seems like Kyler Gordon, TJ Edwards, Colston Loveland, Luther Burden, these guys were still out. Jalen Johnson is not there. It's voluntary camp. He's a veteran. That makes some sense there. But, shore up those injuries, get everybody healthy, get them on the same page, and then let's attack this thing. And that really what it seems like the Bears are doing so far in training camp. They're attacking shit. And let's get it done, man. Let's see what's going to be, what this team is going to be. But outside of the football things, right? Montez Sweat, who did talk a little bit yesterday in regards to it, and he said he called Dennis Allen's defense complex in terms of all the different fronts, coverages, blitzes, and schemes he uses. It's just more than I've had to learn in the past. Direct quote from Montez Sweat. What have I been telling y'all? That Dennis Allen is as creative on the defensive side of the ball as anything Ben Johnson is on the offensive side of the ball. And to hear that a veteran like Montez Sweat is saying that all the different things that they're looking right now is more than what he's had to learn in the past, I'm taking that as a good thing. I think that Dennis Allen is firmly establishing himself here as what he wants this defense to be. What the identity he wants this defense to have is how he's going to use a lot of different looks, a lot of different coverages, a lot of different things to get all his talent out there in different times in positions that's going to best suit them. Like, there's a chance for a lot of these players to have career years here under Dennis Allen on the defensive side of the ball. Jaquan Brisker included, especially with him going into a situation where he's about to be a free agent. Jaquan Brisker is included in that, right? So it seems like things are starting to shape up and that the players are starting to realize that, hey, Dennis Allen ain't nothing to shake your head at. Like, this is a guy that's coming in with some intensity, right? And so, part of those coverages and those schemes is hopefully to be able to get Montez Sweat a little bit more open and where he's going to be able to do some things, right? So even Grady Jarrett talking about like his excitement to come here with the Chicago Bears and play in this thing and saying that he feels refreshed coming to the Bears. Jarrett saying this, it's been refreshing. It's been refreshing for sure. It's like having an experience of playing those prior 10 years on year 11 now, but the new refreshing feeling and excitement of being not a rookie because I know how to be in the NFL, but just being in a new place for the first time around new people is really refreshing. It puts you in a position where you want to put your best foot forward every day. Culture change. That's what we've been pushing here for the Chicago Bears, right? Is culture change. And it seems like we have the coaching staff that is going to change the culture here for Chicago. So, that's a really good thing to have. OTAs is great. The involuntary workouts are going on, right? This is all voluntary right now. Mandatory is coming up next week, so we're going to get to see everybody out there. That's where we're going to really get some news, some battles, seeing how guys stack up against other players. We're getting closer and closer to football, man. Closer and closer to football, and that's what you love to hear, man. And I think this coaching staff has really done a good job. Throughout everything, yesterday was a really good, refreshing day, hearing Caleb address the media in the way that he addressed it head on, right? To hear the things that we heard from the players that got to speak, even the things that have come out from Ben Johnson and Dennis Allen, seeing Declan Doyle out there running the offense too, like at times, like this could have all, like, there's a lot of reason to be excited. I'm still tempering my expectations, though. As you guys know I say it all the time. I'm not allowing my excitement to turn into expectation yet for the Chicago Bears team. I'm just not doing it. I'm not doing it yet. I want to do it, but I can't do it yet because I've been let down so many times before by this Bears team. But this really does feel like the Bears are starting to work on something different. Now, I say starting to because they got a lot to prove before we can say that that's going to be it for sure. A lot to prove. But hopefully, just hopefully, we're starting to get there, man. That's all I can hope for. We'll see what happens with this Bears team, man. But really excited. That linebacker, that Sam linebacker battle, really excited to see what that looks like because I know Reuben Hippolyte is going to be out there trying to really make a name for himself and prove himself. And hopefully this has been something to maybe reinvigorate Noah Sewell. I was excited when the Bears got Sewell, right? Not only because of the family that he came from, but because I saw a path on how his skill set can help this team. And that, of course, got worse every year because we just didn't see him. He's basically used exclusively on special teams. If now with the departure of Jack Sanborn and bringing in another linebacker to bring in some competition, if that wakes up Sewell and makes him realize, hey, this NFL thing can be taken away from you just as quickly as you got here. And that needs to be a wake-up call. So between that, the left tackle battle, backup quarterback battle, we got battles, y'all. It's going to be fun to watch, fun to see what comes out with all of these. But let me know you guys' thoughts on everything down below. Make sure you guys are following us at Chi Bears Central. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. ChicagoBearsCentral@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-242-9336. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related, but that's thanks to you, lovely and beautiful people. And like I like to end every episode on, Chi-Town up, but bear down. Love you guys. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.